Hey everyone, Mark the Movie Man here. Welcome to the Final Cut. So glad you could join us today. Here's a big surprise. We got some indie horror thriller on the chopping block. I know. And this one is called The Devil Comes at Night. It's brought to us by director Scott Lever, giving us the story of Ben, who is an ex-addict and washed-up boxer who ends up inheriting a house in the remote countryside from his father, who recently passed. Well, while there, he's looking for something in particular that his father had, and he hears a knock on the door and soon meets their neighbors. Yeah, his neighbors out in this rural area have a particular taste for human flesh, and soon he finds himself defending his childhood home from these local cannibalistic cult with the help of a woman named Amy. And we see how they try to survive the night as this cult closes in. Wow, The Devil Comes at Night surprised me quite a bit. I went in cold, didn't know a whole lot about it, and I really enjoyed this story. It takes the classic kind of home invasion, strangers type of formula, and gives it a little bit of a creative spin, a little bit of a refreshing spin to it. And I like that, that there was more to this cannibal cult. There's more to Ben and his family history specifically. As the film plays out, you get to learn more and more of this, and it keeps you interested, it keeps you intrigued, and gives some levels and depth to the characters, all of everybody involved. Now, Ben is played by Ryan Allen. I thought he did a fantastic job in here. I loved his performance and this character quite a bit. You're pulling for him, I should say, even as you learn about his kind of rough past, that even makes you more connect with him, because you feel for him that he's in this weird, situation. Amy's played by Adrienne Kress, and I really liked her character as well. She's a strong female character that they didn't do some awkward romantic angle with these two, and I really appreciate that, because they're busy focused on survival, as they should. And I appreciate that. And the banter between Amy and Ben was really good. I liked the dialogue and the chemistry between these two. You could tell they were comfortable with it, but they did co-write this with the director, so that could be why. But they definitely are into these characters, and it comes across on screen. Now, Mason, who is the head of this cannibal cult, at least head of the group that's terrorizing Ben and Amy, is played by Jason Martorino, and wow, did he go all crazy with this. I mean, and we're not talking about like whack, like Gary Busey type crazy. He's more of a Norman Bates type of crazy going on in here, with just a little more touch of maybe Joker to him. I mean, he reminded me a lot of that. He gets some really wicked faces that he makes in here. His dialogue's just dripping with a villainy, and his his lackeys, the ones that follow his direction, also are pretty doggone creepy. There's some very disturbing moments in here, a little bit of social commentary as well in this. You get a wonderful bag of interesting elements that is well produced. The audio stayed solid throughout. There's gore and blood effects when they are used effectively. I think the only complaint that I had with it was there were a couple of moments where there was plot armor for our two main characters, where you look at their injuries and you go, yeah, they really shouldn't be walking about. But the mythology they came up with this and everything else, I thoroughly enjoyed, and I think you will too. If you're looking for something a little different with your home invasion type story, then you will want to check out The Devil Comes at Night, out on VOD now. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble. Please check out our Patreon. Got a lot of stuff there. The more we do there, the more we can do here. Help us get to 2,500 subscribers. We're that close, folks. We get a little bit closer every day. I'd love to get there by the end of the year, but we can only do that with your support. So thank you very much, and until next time, remember, keep that ticket stub.